There it is. This is so awkward. Do I even look here or there? There. I told you guys I'll figure out a way. Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. Thank you for tuning in for another video. For the 4 of you that always complain when I don't post a video, my bad. But thank you for always being so loyal and consistently telling me to upload videos, so thank you. But anyways, last week I asked you guys on Instagram what video you guys wanted to see, and you guys wanted to see the video of me rebuilding my credit. So I guess it's like a story time. I haven't done one of this since like 8 months ago, when I first uploaded my first video. So here it is. But don't worry, the other ones that I mentioned on my Instagram, I'm actually gonna make videos of that, but this video is just my priority right now because that's what you guys wanted to see. But the other ones, I will still make those videos. But yeah, if you guys see me like look down, I have my notes that I made, so bear with me, okay? So before I even tell you guys how I rebuilt my credit, I guess I should tell you how I effed up my credit. Ooh, where do we even begin? Okay, so a couple years ago, my best friend was actually working for a bank. I will not disclose the bank, but she was working at a bank, and you know, as you guys know, working at a bank, you have a quota to meet. So she had asked me if I can open a checking account under her so that she could meet her quota. And because that month they were offering like $50 or something like that, they will deposit $50 as long as you fulfill like the requirements, then they will deposit that. But so yeah, I said, you know what, since it benefits you, it benefits me, why not? So I went, and I remember that day I was on my way to work. Back then I was still working at Toyota, and I thought I would just go in because I have extra time. And so when I went in there, she was actually helping someone else, so I ended up getting helped by her manager. And this person I felt very comfortable talking to because we kind of went out like a couple times before that. The whole time she was helping me, we were just, you know, like chatting about life and like, you know, everything else. So I had told her that I wanted to open a checking account because my best friend, I don't know if I should tell her name. I'm not gonna mention any names. But anyway, so my best friend, I told her that, you know, I wanted to open a checking account under my best friend. And since, you know, my best friend was helping someone else, she decided to help me, which like I already said, it's fine because I felt comfortable with this person. She said that, you know, since we're opening an account, we might as well check your credit. And I said, okay, like, at that time, I didn't really think about it, but in the back of my head, I was like, this is only a checking account. Like, we don't need to check our credit. But, you know, I went along with it, and we were talking about life, whatever. And she was offering me, like, their APR, like, she was offering me, as she should anyway. She was doing her job really well. She was offering me, like an APR if I wanted to refinance and all that kind of stuff. And I told her that I didn't want to because at that time I just bought my car and I got a really good APR. I think it was like 2%. And I told her that I was not interested because my APR was already really good, and the APR that they were offering was a lot higher, like in the 4 range or something like that. Excuse me. But anyways, I told her, you know, like, I don't want to open anything. And then she had mentioned line of credit, and I kind of like, what is that? And then she said, oh, you know, just in case you didn't have enough funds on your checking account to avoid like overdraft fees, you can get, like, it will cover the fees pretty much. And I had told her that, you know, like, I'm not interested in anything, in opening anything. Like, I am not interested in opening any type of whatever it is. I just want to open my checking account. And so come to signing part, like, this is my bad because I just kept signing and signing. Like, I should have clarified, and she should have clarified too what I was signing, you know. But as I was signing, you know, she kept talking to me and I kept talking to her back, and that was it. So I left the day thinking, you know, I just have a checking account. Fast forward to 2 months later, my friend Monique, actually, we were like in a phone call. I don't know what for, but she said that, oh, I think I wanted to like close my checking account. And she said that I was already late with my payment. And I said, what payment? And she said, girl, you have a line of credit. And I said, a line of credit? Like, what is that? And then almost automatically, I thought of like, oh, you know, what she had said. And so I was like, what? Like, since when? Like, since when did I have, you know, like, I've been with my bank for 16 years. Like, oh my God, I was like so pissed because now I was late with my payment. I have never been late with my payment. I had like 720 credit score at that time. And here I was late with like my payment. And so right away I had called the bank's like fraud claim or like customer service to, you know, to like fix this. And they said, and I had asked them, like at that time I believe I owed like $80 or something like that. And then, I mean, $80 is a lot of money, but because I didn't want my credit to suffer, I was going to pay it. But the customer, I mean, the customer representative or whatever who helped me from that bank had, she did not tell me not to or to pay. She just said that if I was going to like fight this, that I shouldn't pay for it, because then if I paid for it, that would be me taking responsibility of what had happened. And that's not what I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to fight for that, and I wanted that to get out of my credit score, because even like I don't like having a late payment, because I had been so consistently paying for my payments way ahead of time. Long story short, it was never resolved. All right. And so that year when I needed to apply for like a personal loan, because it was Christmas time and I wanted to like, you know, I wanted to get more money, you know. So I applied for a personal loan, and the banker from the credit union that helped me, she said, oh, my credit score was, girl, my credit score was 540. And I was so livid. Like, I legit was crying in front of this person because I was so embarrassed. I was embarrassed and I was mad that this ever happened. So anyways, that was the background of that. My credit score went from 720, it dropped to 540, and I could, oh my gosh, if that had ever happened to you, like, I feel you. So anyways, that was the background of me effing up my credit. And on top of that, I believe like I quit my job at that time, and I was like unemployed for like 3 months, and I maxed out my credit card. Obviously that had to do with lowering my credit score as well. We are back to the point of the video, which is how I rebuilt my credit. So the first thing that I ever had to do was to be aware of my credit score. When I became aware of my credit score, that's when I knew which areas to fix. If I look down, I'm looking at my notes. So I downloaded credit apps on my phone to track where I was at. So I downloaded Credit Sesame and Credit Karma, and I actually love those apps because it legit breaks down everything what you have. Like, it breaks down where you are with your debt, with your loans, your past loans, like all kinds of other things. And it's actually pretty accurate. Like, whenever I check on the app, it's actually like really accurate with my payments and my usage and all that stuff. So downloading those apps really helped you out. It was a little hard, you know, seeing from 720 to 540 credit score, but I needed to know where I was at so that I can start, you know, taking the steps into fixing my credit score. Number 2 is increasing your credit limits. So credit utilization is actually 30% of your grading score for your credit. So it means if you increase your credit limit, that means you're using less of what your capacity is. So what I did was I actually called my credit card company, which was Chase, and I had asked them if they could increase my credit limit. So when you ask them, by the way, they will run your credit again, And initially they said no because, I mean, obviously because my credit score was like really bad. It was at 540. So initially they said no. So after a couple months of just paying off my debt, they actually increased my credit limit to like double to my credit limit now. You can even open another credit card, which it's actually one of the tips in increasing your credit, because that's your credit utilization at the, at the whole bigger picture. But obviously you only want to open a credit card if you're able to pay the full amount, by the time it's due. Number 3 tip is setting up automatic payments. So if you are a forgetful person, this will be super helpful for you, because I know there's a lot of people that are very forgetful, and they just automatically, they don't think about their bills, or sometimes it's a lot harder to let go of money. So people will procrastinate. Like, I procrastinate paying for my bills because it's like I said, it's a lot harder to let go of your money, even though, you have to pay for your debt. So what I did, and I still do, is I actually set up automatic payments for my card, for my loan, for my car loan, for whatever bill that I have, and I set it even a week before it's due. So that way, if you forget, then, it's already paid for, and you don't even actually notice it, because you're not the one that's paying. It actually just takes it off from your bank account. Being on time pays, you guys. Being on time pays. I'm telling you, set up the automatic payment if you know that it's hard for you to let go of your money, or if you know that you are a forgetful person, because let me tell you, that will help you out a lot. Number 4 is, like I said, I had a medical bill that went into collection, and I did not know. And I used to, what do you call this? I used to avoid like the collection companies, and until I think it was last year, when I had seen like a video somewhere in YouTube on this person talking to like a collection agent or something like that. And when it came to my turn, like, I just answered them, and it was like, yeah, it was a collection company it was like a medical bill, like a couple years ago, back when I like first started doing like my testing for my disease, and I had forgotten about that. So I spoke to this collection agent, and I had just told her like my story and all that other stuff, and she actually took that thing off from my credit, like not credit history, but it's kind of like a forgiveness thing. So she just took it out. I don't even know if I'm supposed to disclose this, but my main point is to talk to the collection agencies. You can settle your debt with them. You can just share your story with them and hope that they will sympathize. Last but not least, is be an authorized signer. So I'm actually not an authorized signer, but I know a lot of people are authorized signer with their mom or their dad's credit card. So what that means is that, like, let's say if you know your mom or your dad or whoever that you can trust, or whoever that trusts you, have like a good credit score, you can ask them to be an authorized signer of their card, because you don't necessarily have to use their credit card. But whenever they make payments, they're pretty much carrying you with building their credit. But that also goes with, if they were late, that affects you as well. So if you ask to be an authorized signer by someone, you have to make sure that you trusted someone, and that you're responsible, as well, because that someone that you're asking will probably not let you be an authorized signer if you are not responsible enough either. So those are the 5 tips on how I rebuilt my credit. I am not where I am right now. I am not where I want to be, but I'm slowly getting there. Obviously, building a credit, or like, rebuilding a credit takes a lot of time, and it's not something that you can speed up. So if there's something that I want you guys to take away, is to not be so naive. I know I might have like young viewers, and like, you know, when you're young and you don't know anything about credit, you really want to take a dive into that, because you don't want to, especially like if you were doing like your first big purchase, or like opening a credit card because you think, you know, like you want to start building your credit, or you think you need money or all that kind of stuff. You need to be aware. Like you need, I cannot emphasize this enough. Like you need to be aware of what you're signing into, and do not let anyone tell you, like, just because you're young or maybe you're old or whatever age you are, you need to be aware of what you're signing whenever you go into like a financial institution or a credit union or a bank. You need to know all your finances, because ultimately that is your responsibility. So yeah, that is the story on how I effed up my credit and how I built it back up. If you, hopefully you guys learned something from this video. If you did, just comment it down below. That way I can engage with you guys. And if you guys have any questions, just comment it down below as well. And if you guys like these kinds of videos, please give it a thumbs up. That way I know that you guys like these kinds of videos, and that way I know what I can provide for you guys. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.